Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Vice Versa Tarot. Here's the creators' names. That way, if you want to search them out and see what else they have created. To me, those are complicated names. So instead of butchering them, I'm just going to give you the spelling. I'm also going to give you the website here. In case you want to see more, there's a website at the bottom here. Just freeze frame and check out whatever you would like to check out. There. That way, you can support the creators if you choose so. Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. And there's a website down there too. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you would like to. Okay, cool, great, wonderful. Okay. What do we got for Aries? That's odd. Okay, let's go a little farther. I'm already seeing one card here, and I'm like, yeah, I want the bottom card. What is it? Other people, yeah, you know what? Okay, I'm getting more of the context here, because there's a card here that it looks like you're gonna literally not deal with something, which seems so out of character for Aries. Like, I'm just not going to address it. And Aries is not shy when it comes to this stuff. Like, that's wrong. I'm going to tell you it's wrong, and we need to fix it. But I'm also getting more context now. It's kind of like, well, one reason why Aries wouldn't say something is kind of like, you know what? Either one, I've said something before and it didn't correct it like it needed to, or two, if I don't say something, it's a little bit more brutal for the person who's screwing around, and I feel like they'll learn a better lesson if I don't. It's almost like if I said something, it would be a favor to them, but they're annoying me, so I'm not going to do them that favor. Instead, I'm going to just keep it to myself, and I'm going to let this play out, and I'm going to let them learn the hard way. And you know what? Then I'm not the bad guy, and it also corrects. The bad person, whatever you want to say. It's hard to wait. It's hard to wait. It's hard to not say anything. It's hard to wait. It's definitely difficult, but I feel like this makes sense to me why you would not say something. Kind of like, you know what? I'm not going to be the target. And by me saying something, I've seen this play out before. In fact, in my own life, it's almost like people are screwing. It's almost like, to me anyway, it was like people are screwing around just so that I will say something so they can blame me for things that aren't my fault, and then come out smelling like a rose when they do things differently, but making me look like the problem for saying something. Kind of like, ugh, James had to say something. We were doing just fine, and then he had to be a problem. And it's kind of like, they shouldn't have said something. I should have just kept my mouth shut and just let it go where it was going to go, and then they could have dealt with it that way. And I feel like that's what this is. Kind of like, if I say something, they're going to like twist things around to make it look like I was the problem. And it's kind of like, no, I didn't show up to play that game. What we're going to do is I'm just going to let it play out, and then we'll see what you get. And I feel like Aries is really smart when it comes to strategy. You're going to also make it look like I didn't have a chance to double-check anybody. In fact, why would I double-check somebody? I had my own job to do. I had my own responsibilities. I was very busy. Especially if you're annoyed, kind of like not playing, no, I'm not playing that game for you. Maybe this person has kind of pulled this bull crap on you before. They're waiting. They think they're going to win. They're going to win something all right. They're going to win something all right. That's one of the things I like about this deck. It has different, like, it's for front and back. I think this is the king. I think that's the king. It might be the knight, but I think it's the king of swords. But it's the back. Like, they're waiting. They're waiting, and this is the back of the Six of Wands. They think they already won. They think they already won. They're just waiting for you to play into the game. Like, they set up the trap. They're just waiting for you to walk through it. They feel like you have no choice. You're going to walk right through there. They're going to get you, and then that's what they wanted. They set up the trap, and they got you. Meanwhile, you, Aries, is going, oh, I see your bleeping trap. I see your bleeping trap. I'll just wait. It's kind of like, it's almost like in the trap, they set up your favorite pizza or favorite food, and you're like, I don't want it from you anyway. I'll sit here and I'll just drink water. I can go 2 days without food. I'll just drink water. I'd rather sit here and just drink water than deal with your. No, no. They have no idea how dedicated you can be if you just decide. No, once you see it and you're annoyed. No, they are wrong. Oh, they are flat out wrong. People, how is it that people underestimate Aries? I'm just like, you guys are so bold. I feel like they don't realize how smart Aries is. I feel like people think Aries is just a hothead. That's not what's going on. But that's totally not what's going on. But hey, they're going to get their just desserts for it. Because what I get coming forward is like, it's going to take a minute to really play out, but the Ten of Swords is coming, and somebody else isn't going to let them get away with it. Somebody else is going to be the judge, jury, and executioner. That's the Seven of Wands. They're not going to get away with it. By you stepping out and not playing the game, not calling it out, you're not getting any blame. They're going to get, like, it's going to come on top of them. It's going to fall on them like a ton of bricks. Boof. It's going to be painful. And they're going to feel all bad about it, which, in the sense of, like, poor me, feel bad about it. I hate that when people do that. When they screw themselves over and they want people to feel bad for them, like, you screwed yourself over. Why am I going to feel bad for you? Like, I'm not going to feel bad for you when you set your own crap up and you... I don't know. Sometimes people really get on my nerves, and I'm kind of feeling it with this one. Like, they set up their own bullcrap. They couldn't trap somebody else into their bullcrap, and then they have to, pay the price for it, and then they expect other people to feel bad for them? Like, in what type of reality does that work out? I don't get it. But there's a lot of people out there like that, I swear. They do that. They set up their own problems, and then when it blows up in their face, they're like, oh, poor me. Poor you what? Poor you how? No. Stop being stupid. Sorry. I don't know I'm thinking of somebody when I'm thinking of this, but I'm just like, some people, they just astonish me that they play these games, and they're like, oh, poor me. No, poor you. I don't know. There's a soapbox I just need to get off, apparently. I love that the fact that this is like the Ten of Wands with victory, because I feel like they're getting their just desserts, and it's kind of like the fact that it's the back of the Ten of Wands, like, that's, to me, that's the front of it. This is like the after effect. They're getting their just desserts. This is helping them figure out what needs to happen. I feel like also other people are kind of like, there's other people around this situation. I think that's more what this is, because I see victory and I'm like, there's more to this. Other people are like, they want to believe better for whoever this is, but it's kind of like, this time, because you didn't get involved, we can't play this, we can't play this ridiculous game anymore. It's quite clear what happened and why. I'm going to just roll the dice on this one. Yeah, no. People are going to give this person a hard time. They're not going to let it go. And there's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of, how did that get there? Why was this doing this? Why was that even there? Who set that trap? Was that a trap? Wait, is that a trap? Who set that trap? Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are going to get kind of brutal about this. I don't see you being a part of that. I'm just literally, I feel like the more you stay out of it, the more the person who's playing this game pays for it. So it's kind of like, I'm playing this, I'm too busy to even go over there. I didn't even know something was going on. And then afterwards, when that ton of bricks is falling on them, stay right away. I got a lot going on. I don't know what's going on with that person, but I got all this stuff I got to take care of. So whatever you guys got to do, you guys got to do. I respect that, but I got to do this over here. The more you stay out of it, the more this other person pays for it. Because if you even get in there after the fact, and people are like asking questions like, who set that trap? Why is that trap even there? If you're involved even in that part, this person tries to get creative and tries to still try to push the blame on you in some creative way. But if you're not even there, it just makes that ton of bricks even heavier for them, because it's going to really backfire on them, because people are going to be like, you did this and you caused all this damage for us for no reason. Like, what are you doing? The more you stay out of it, the better it goes, because I feel like somebody might be leaving. Take it with a grain of salt. This is a General read, obviously, but I'm feeling like people aren't willing to put up with this anymore. And whoever this person is, if they were in the part of the, if they were in the in group to begin with, I feel like they're being rejected from the in group. It's the Nine of Wands, but I feel like the in group is now, they're on the outside of the in group. Because people are like, no, this person's a problem. This person's a problem, and they're not even helping, they're not helping anybody. They're making things worse for us, and we're the in group, and they were a part of the in group. But that person was making a problem for us and just causing more damage for us that didn't need to happen. They're on the outs, and we're not letting them in. Like, they're on the outside now. I'm not saying you're going to be on the inside of this, by the way. I'm not even thinking you want to be, quite frankly. You got the Tower card here, but it's the back side of it. Yeah, the facade has been broken. The facade is broken. People didn't want to see the truth. But now that they do, I don't want to pretend like people who didn't like you to begin with are going to like you now, because I don't think that's true. But I think they will acknowledge that, with Aries, what Aries says is what you get. Like, what you see is what you get with Aries. I don't know. I'm not getting that they like you more, but I feel like they at least know what to expect from you, and I feel like they at least leave you alone. Like, I feel like there's more of, like, I dare say more respect. I think it depends on how you view it. They're gonna stay out of your way. I feel like people are gonna stay out of your way, because if I feel like they learned, like, if you just leave Aries alone and just let Aries do what Aries needs to do, they do what they need to do. They do a respectable job. They do what they were required to do, and you just leave them alone. They're gonna continue to leave you alone. They're gonna stay out of your way. I'm not. I don't know if they really respect you more. I don't really. I wouldn't bank on that if I was you. But I feel like they stay out of your way, and people treat you better to your face. To your face. I still wouldn't say they were good to you, but they're better to your face. There's at least that going on here. Are things going to go better for you after this situation? Yeah, I feel like you've seen it for what it is. You know how these people are. So if this is a job situation, there may have been a lot of problems over the last few years. Whatever those problems were, that seems to stop, but I feel like you know what you're dealing with. They leave you alone. You don't really want to deal with them anyway. So it's peaceful, but I don't feel comfortable, if you follow me. Peaceful, I wouldn't say I'm like, ooh, yippee skippy, like, I feel like everybody loves me. I don't feel that. But I'm like, all right, I stay out of their way, they stay out of my way, we're all cool, we'll do that. Do they like me? I know they don't, so I'm not going to push it. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting anybody to bend over backwards for me, and if I need a favor, it's not the place to go. I know that much. But it's better. It's better. So it may be one of those things where at least it's more palatable than it used to be. But you know what this is. You know how this is. You know how this situation works. You know how these people actually are. They're nicer to your face, and that has some value. And I feel like, all right, they're going to play that game. I'm going to play that game. Especially if it's a job thing, like I'm showing up for the paycheck. As long as they leave me alone, I leave them alone. As long as I can just show up and do what I need to do, I don't care. I don't care. I feel like that's how this is going. Because I do feel like it goes better, but I do have to be more political, a little bit more diplomatic with it. I know how to handle it. Again, you know when somebody's being nice to your face. I feel like Aries usually knows. You can tell me I'm wrong. Usually you know when somebody's just being nice to your face, and you can just, once they're out of sight, I'm like, yeah, that's as far as that loyalty went. Yeah. Especially when they're a little bit too nicey nice and like, oh, Aries, you're so wonderful. Like, okay. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, I see how this does seem to change something for you going forward, too. It brings more peace for you, kind of like, this is as good as this situation gets. So now that I know that, and I know how to make this more peaceful, it's in a peaceful period, what do I want to do with it? It seems to start bringing up certain questions in your mind. Where do I want to go next? Now that I know how this played out, and now I see how it's playing out after the fact, am I staying here? If I'm staying here, what am I doing with this? If I'm not staying here, how am I going to change it? I feel like, for example, if this is a job thing again, I know I'm beating that to death, but here we go. It's kind of like I've gone through all this ridiculousness. I got to a place where it's peaceful, not great, but peaceful. And I'm like, you know what? I do want a different job, but I don't feel like I'm under the gun to get out of here in 5 minutes. I can take the next year, maybe 2 if I'm lucky, but I can start looking and just kind of like see what's available here, see what's available there, maybe find something a lot better. When the right thing comes along, I can casually move into that. I don't feel like people are going to be that upset when I leave anyway. Plus, but again, I can just kind of relax and just take my time finding what I want. It's not like this situation is horrible anymore, but I still wouldn't say I was comfortable. I think that's where this is going, which is ironic. It's like now that I don't have that problem anymore, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe it's time to start thinking about what options I want to really have here. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.